Presenting our national officials for this match. First referee, Mr. Fernando Velarde. Second referee, Mr. Herbert Matematico. Let's welcome our starting lineup from our PLDT high-speed hitters. Let's begin with our team captain. She wears jersey number 3, Mika Irene Reyes. At number 2, Marianne Mendrez. Wearing jersey number 12, Rhea Katrina Di Maculangan. Number 13, Del Palomata. And at number 14, Michelle Catherine Morente. And at number 19, Jovelyn Grace Prado. Starting libero wears number 8, Kathleen Faith Arado. Head coach, Mr. Raud Benson Ricafort. Calling on our Choco Mucho Flying Titans. Team captain wears jersey number 14, Isabella Beatriz De Leon. At number 1, Maria Lina Isabel Molde. Wearing jersey number 3, number 2, Desiree Winea Cheng. At number 3, Maria Dina Isabel Wong. Number 7, Madeline Irenea Madayag. At number 10, Katrina May Tolentino. Starting libero is number 13, Denise Michelle Lazaro Revilla. Head coach, Mr. Dante Alin Sunurin. This match is under the supervision and regulation of the Games and Amusements Board.
Back at the Phil Sports Arena for the first of our doubleheader today for your PVL. And we are looking at the starting lineup for the PLDT high-speed hitters. Currently in number 4, pasok na sa finals, but they just might improve their standings and come in at number 3 if they win against Choco Mucho. Their starting lineup here on your screens as well. So if you're Choco Mucho, how are you going to play today, you think, Neil?
Well, in their past game against the Cherry Tigo crossovers, the middle blockers only combined for 7 points. So I guess that was the missing link for them because it was only Kat Tolentino who reached double digits. She had a 16-point performance. I don't think that will be enough because against a highly defensive team in the PLDT high-speed hitters. And on the side naman kay Coach Rald Ricafort, his new team with PLDT, he has found new talent in Michelle Morente and Mayan Mendrez in the starting unit. And you would see them usually come in as second stringers, but right now, nandiyan na sila sa first 7 ni Coach Rald Ricafort, and they're very smart when it comes to attacking the defense of their opponents.
And sabi nga natin, peaking at the right time. And I think bringing in their experience from even during their college days, you know, because iba rin naman the stage there is also as big as the professional stage, and everything that they learned there and the kind of experience that they were able to gain from there, nadadala na rin nila dito sa pros. And I think that's what's happening to those two girls, helping out the rest of the team. PLDT already with 2 points here. Choco Mucho waiting to get on the scoreboard.
PLDT also has a good blocking in the form of Del Palomata and Mika Reyes. Tapos may secondary defense ka pa behind with Kat Arado and Jovi Prado. So you really have to be able to choose your attack options well against this team. And just like that, PLDT is already up by 3 points in the first frame.
That was an attempt there by Mia De Leon and Des Cheng for that block, but Mia Mendrez was able to score off their hands, and Del Palomata continues to serve. And this time, BDL with her classic 1 hit, and that was too fast for PLDT's blockers, and that's the first point for Choco Mucho.
De Leon coming from a 4-point performance against the Cherry Tigo crossover. She only played 2 sets, the first and the second frame. And then it was Cherry Nunag who actually occupied that middle blocker position in set number 3.
So also something up Coach Dante's sleeve and how he is shuffling his players. No? We saw, yun na nga, sometimes linalabas din niya yung starters niya, and yung mga inaasahan yung maglaro, hindi niya pinapasok. So it's really all in Coach Dante's mind.
And again, he came midpoint of the season. It's not that easy na mag-adapt agad sa bagong sistema. So we will see new things definitely from the Flying Titans in the next coming conferences.
Yeah. And I think that's why it's important also for them to end on a high note. Whether win or lose, they want to perform well today. Talking about Choco Mucho. But it's hard to do against a team like PLDT. And they keep coming. That's 5-1. PLDT already up by 4. And Brain Dixon has an early report for us.
It took both hard work and some faith to spark Man Mendres' confidence and performance. After sustaining a minor knee injury in the 2021 PVL bubble, Man was hard at work trying to get back to 100%, in which she did. Then, after an early exit in the reinforced conference, Man went back to her old stomping grounds in the UE Lady Warriors to get ready for this All-Filipino conference. Then, PLDT acquired Coach Raldrica Ford, who she was under in Petrogas in her first years in the PVL. So she told me that the familiarity with her old coach, plus all the training that she did in the offseason, really helped her become the 18th best scorer in the league. So let's see how she performs in this crucial matchup for PLDT. Back to you, Chicky and Neil.
Thanks so much, Rain. Of course, we're highlighting Mia Mendres because of that stellar performance that she put out in their last game. And you know what, there's something to be said about the familiarity with the coach, and I think that's showing up in Mia Mendres' performance. We have seen good defense here on the side of Choco Mucho. Look at Kat Tolentino. Prado could not contain that one, and it's been Kat scoring for Choco Mucho.
16 points, and she's looking to build that number again against Mika Reyes and the rest of the high-speed hitters. Always the main option for Choco Mucho. Just always stepped up to the plate and delivered.
BDL with that service ace. I think BDL woke up on the right side of the bed today. You can feel her spirits are high, and she's noisy on the court. And she has been contributing so far to Choco Mucho, getting them just within a point of PLDT.
Well, 3 of the 4 points have come from Bea de Leon. And that is correct. I do agree that she woke up at the right side of the bed.
Oh, but how about that cross-court sharp attack there by Mia Mendres? I think we're right about highlighting this girl.
Sharp cross-court attack from Man Mendres. And itong PLDT, this is a team that has been on the rise. You can see yung gradual build-up nila. They didn't make it in the past editions of our PVL, but right now they're finally competing in that semifinals. And mukhang naging character building yung mga 5-set losses nila na sobrang dikit.
It paid off, ano? Ngayon, ang tibay nila. Talking about PLDT, of course, and there's Joey Prado there off the block. Scoring, and these are the things that they learn along the way. You can score in so many ways. A point is a point. Joey Prado, not as tall as some of these girls from the other side, but she'll just time it and hit off the block.
She's also not the most powerful when it comes to attacks, but she punches in the numbers well.
Oh, and how about that? That was close. Bigla na lang the ball dropped, and that is an ace and a point for PLDT, getting them to 8 points first in this first technical timeout. Back for more after the break. We're talking offense versus defense here. We highlighted Kat Arado and her stellar performance in this conference so far. And we want to pit her against Kat Tolentino, who has been awesome in the offense for Choco Mucho. So we are watching out for this matchup. Kat Arado versus Kat Tolentino. Tell us what you think. You can tweet us through the game and participate in our coverage here. And we will look forward to hearing from all of you.
Ivy Laxina and Chini Arroyo from the F2 Logistics Cargo Movers enjoying this match.
Relax muna sila. Pasok na rin ng F2. For those of you who have not been up to date, we have the cast of 4 already waiting in the wings. And that includes Creamline on top, F2, PLDT, and the last one I didn't mention is Petrogas.
Angels.
Yes.
And for F2 Logistics, they were the only one to beat the Creamline Cool Smashers in a 5 thrilling sets. So I guess kahit sinong matapat sa kanila, they have that advantage that they can beat anybody.
Yeah.
But I know the fans really want an F2 Creamline finals, but it will be up to Choco Mucho and PLDT to determine the finals, semi-finals, rankings, and matchups.
Ang dami natin pinagkwentuhan, and as we were talking, talagang tuloy-tuloy lang itong dalawang kupunan. That was a long rally, and that was a well-deserved point for Choco Mucho. I think they want to challenge PLDT this way all game long if they want to score a final win before this conference is up for them. Long back set. Dumadi Madayag, who is on the court now, coming in for the first time. Oh, wow. It's Jovi Prado again, getting very creative there.
You can just see the smarts of Jovi Prado again, using the hands of the blockers to her advantage, pushing that ball to the open spaces on the floor for Choco Mucho.
9-5, PLDT up by 4. Got Mika Reyes on the line here, getting ready to serve. She is number 7 in blocking in the conference. Isa Molde, what an approach, but look at that cup, not good enough. It's right in front of us, Isa Molde. Perfect form in that last attack.
Isa Molde and Descheng had similar numbers in that game against Cherry Tigo. They both had 8 points each.
Isa Molde, we've also seen how she is a clutch player. When they need her the most, she steps up. And this time, Choco Mucho's on to Jovi Prado. Free ball for PLDT. Prado one more time. Arado's there. Alomata. Doug. Rally goes on. Oh, that's a good up by Cheng. And she will go for the hit. Off the blockers. D-Mac going to Prado one more time. And she does it again.
That's the 3rd point of Jovi Prado, just using her smarts. Not forcing the issue every single time.
Kita mo rin yung tiwala ni D-Mac sa kanya. Rede Maculangan, a very experienced setter who is ranked high in among the setters of the league. She's the 2nd best setter so far in this league. PLDT will set up again. Mitch Morentes blocked. That's good enough. Morente, Madayag. The showdown there, Madayag winning on that block.
Choco Mucho also needs to step up in their blocking. They only had 4 killed blocks against Cherry Tigo. So they have to fight defense with defense against the high-speed hitter.
And that one gets away from Isa Molde. This time, Mitch Morente coming from the left pin, and she's able to score.
11, serving set.
Ball right back to the side of the high-speed hitters. And Prado here showing us how we don't need to power through all of your attacks to score. That's a service error for her. She's scored 3 points already out of PLDT's 11, but Choco Mucho just still within striking distance here.
3 attack options for the Choco Mucho Flying Titans right now. Tolentino, Bea De Leon, and Descheng. But Mitch Morente using that speed of hers to get through the defense of the Flying Titans.
One more time on that attack. That's right. She found a hole there too between the 2 blockers of Choco Mucho. And Del Palomata back on the service line.
And in one of the interviews, Mitch Morente actually said that she was just waiting for an opportunity for their coach na magbigay ng tiwala sa kanya so that she can showcase her skill set also. And she is an all-around player, power hitter, steady receiver, and ang dami rin niyang excellent digs rin na nakukuha every single game.
I mean, she has that championship blood. She knows how to play big games, and tama rin yung sinasabi mo, yung peaking at the right time, because now is when they need her the most coming into the semifinals. And PDL reads her like a book there. Isa Molde going up now. Another chance here. And Pito, I think it didn't go past the net.
Too soft on the hit from Isa Molde. Wanted to target zone 1, but low clearance on that hit.
Mitch Morente getting ready to serve. Oh, that's a good job there by Dina Wong to save that overpass. That converts to a point by PDL.
And usually, itong mga one-handed sets ng mga setter, yan yung mga nako-convert because the middle blocker of their opponent actually goes up for a block. So it's very important to be able to be quick on your feet so that you can save these tight passes. And you can just set it to the nearest attacker on the floor, and that would be the middle blocker.
The middle blocker, that totally worked out for Choco Mucho, and now they're only 2 points behind. Staying very close to PLDT here. Hindi sila nagpapahuli masyado. Still waiting to lead is Choco Mucho. But Bea de Leon here has been showing up, really. PLDT will set up now. DMAC looking for Mayan Mendres. One more chance. This time the running attack by Mika Reyes. Too much for Dina Wong.
You can just see the setting of Rede Maculangan giving the balls to the left wing and the right side of the court equally. So ang nangyayari, pinapagalaw talaga ni Maculangan yung middle blocker ng Choco Mucho para humabol ng humabol.
Para mga wiper.
Yeah, and that's the advantage of having a middle blocker that can go for a slide attack because not all middle blockers are comfortable in these slide attacks. Sometimes A quick, B quick na yung pinaka-komportable sila.
And you know, we've talked about it many times. It looks so great as we take a look at the scrambling here at PLDT, but that is a point for Choco Mucho. Those slide attacks, they look so great, but they are so hard to master because of the timing that it requires.
Especially if you're coming from the left side of the court. And the centers have to dictate the right tempo when they go to these slide attacks.
Choco Mucho with the ball back. Tolentino serving. Oh, smart. Mitch Morente onto Dina Wong there. Good up by Isa Molde. Good defense from both sides of the court here. This is going to be a free ball. Let's see what Choco Mucho does. Dina Wong going for the slide attack of Maddie. Mitch Morente again with a dig there. Molde one more time. The focus of both these squads. Walang bumibitiw. Molde again. Prado sends it over. Catarado read that one. Oh, good defense by Denden Lazaro. Wow, and it ends with a two-man block. DMAC and Mika Reyes coming together. What a rally, Neil.
Again, PLDT, very defensive team right there. You cannot give a lot of soft touches. You saw the sequence where Kat Arado was just standing. It was an easy dig for her. And you also have Mika Reyes guarding the net.
And really props to Mitch Morente. I mean, she knows her opponents all too well. Kilala niya eh. Mga dating teammates. And so she knows, and she was able to save a couple of good ones there.
And that's the thing when Mitch Morente and Kat Arado is in the backcourt. May tagabantay ng zone 1. Tapos meron din nag-aabang sa cross-court.
And that one is outside.
Right on the line.
Oh, it's called right on the line, says our court announcer, Mac Capuela. So that is a point for Choco Mucho.
Great cut shot from Isa Molde. It was just an ad-lib from that botched pass. Again, targeting zone 1. She has been targeting that area, but she finally gets that sideline.
Oh, you all saw that in the replay. It just barely kissed the line. But that's good for Choco Mucho. Just a quick conversion there by PLDT, and they get the ball back, and they get to 16 points first in our second technical timeout. Up by 3 is PLDT. Back for more after the break. Bingo Plus, the first live streaming bingo in the Philippines. Back here at the Phil Sports Arena, Chiqui Roa Puno with Neil Flores. Train Tixon is part of our panel today for our reports. And so far, Choco Mucho has been putting up a fight against the higher-seeded PLDT high-speed hitters. But in spite of the really long rallies that we've seen, nakikita natin na talagang lumalaban ang Choco Mucho. Kita rin natin that the defense of PLDT, I think they're practicing na. Talagang that's what they have to do.
That is correct. And the Choco Mucho needs to challenge the defense of PLDT by getting more power into their attacks.
Actually, if you look at the way the team has performed so far, as we take a look at this joust at the net, won by Des Cheng. PLDT has actually been doing well in their defense. #1 in digs, #1 in receives as a team. And of course, we know Catarado is largely responsible for that statistic. But they know that, like you said, Neil, they're going up against the big guns. It's going to be, for the semifinals, it's going to be either Creamline or Petrogas for their first game. Either way, kailangan talaga todo depensa sila.
And when you reach the semifinals, you know, it's anybody's ball game, literally, especially
Back
here in
to
the
zero.
PVL. No undefeated team coming into the semifinals. Streamline, although at #1, they had 1 loss against F2 Logistics. Petrogas 6-2, F2 Logistics 6-2 as well.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a tight ball game come the semifinals.
Finds the line. 17-15.
And PLDT still holding on to their lead there. That big attack by Mitch Morente one more time there. Morente is having a field day today, already 5 for her, 5 points.
And that's the distribution of Rede Macolangan. She knows when to identify the hottest hand on the floor,
Yeah.
but she also knows when to activate the middle blockers.
And there's a call there, somebody at the net. I think it was Del Palomata. That's a free point for Choco Mucho. Still trying to even out the score and get a lead. They haven't done that, Choco Mucho.
And the Fly Titans closing in on the
Yeah.
high-speed hitters. Now, Tolentinos in the front row. Definitely going to be an option for Dina Wong and Denise Lazaro Revilla.
Cat will play setter to Mitch Morente, and that was outside, untouched. Choco Mucho will get that point.
But there will be a challenge on the side of Coach Valdrica Ford. They will be asking for a block touch, probably against the blockers of Choco Mucho. Looks like it didn't touch the hands of Denise Lazaro Revilla, so
Yeah.
most probably it's going to be a blocker. Kung manalo man sila sa challenge na yan.
So we saw it was definitely outside. It's a question of whether check ball, kung merong contact with Del. And PLDT just making use of their challenges here. It's clear to me.
Yeah, it was clear that
Yeah.
there was
No touch.
No touch.
Definitely outside, and that will stay with green line.
And we're now tied at
Yes,
17
they are
all.
tied. This is what we're talking about. This is the point where Choco Mucho will try to take the lead here in this first set. And you can see just from the challenges that PLDT is serious. They're showing respect for Choco Mucho. They're not going to take the flying titans lightly. Good serve, good reception. Mendres. That's off the block again. And Mendres this time with a point. 4 points already for Mean.
Jesse De Leon will be replacing Del Palamata on the service deck.
Jesse De Leon seeing action here for the first time for PLDT, who I understand is a professional architect.
She designed my house.
Oh, that's great! Ganda naman ng birthday gift ni Jessie sa'yo. And as we see that, Choco Mucho again, just tying things up, making of a very exciting first set here, Neil. Makaka 5-setter ba tayo today?
Well, we'll take it.
Yeah.
But right now, Bea De Leon really proving to be the top scorer here in the first frame. And yan yung tinatawag nating supporting cast talaga for Kat Tolentino.
And there's Kat. Off the block. And it's good when you have that supporting cast. When you feel like everybody's behind you, you're more confident going up for your attacks. And that's certainly what Kat Tolentino did, giving Choco Mucho their first lead of the day. Timeout.
Kung mahirapan ulit sa pasa, yung coverage na, huwag pilitin. Pag naangat nyo ulit, magsabi ulit sa game.
Kahit pag yung pa-cover mo, pwede mo na sa unahan. Pag naunahan mo, sawa ka na. Or pag ano, pwede mo
Back row.
Oh, tapos sabayan mo na yung quicker. Pag yung over na gano'n.
One good pass muna, one good pass. Score lamang sila sa let's go lang. Reality! Together!
Over na gano'n.
And great catch-up effort here by Choco Mucho. PLDT calling that timeout and already feeling the pinch a little bit because they were leading all throughout this first set. And when it matters the most, when we are here at this point of the game, tsaka umarangkada ang Choco Mucho. Mitch Borente again, got the ball, old reliable. She has been delivering for her team. 6 points now for Mitch.
Specialty of the house. Getting it off the hands of the double block of the Flying Titans.
Oh, that one did not go past the net. But there's somebody at the net on the side of PLDT, and that's a break that Choco Mucho will take.
Crucial stages of the opening set. Drop ball for Isa Molde. Didn't go over, but Mika Reyes got too excited to go for that block.
Bea De Leon, team captain, serving for the Flying Titans.
3 attack points so far, 2 blocks for Bea De Leon. Mitch and Mean Mendres there. Nice wind up. You knew that was going to come in strong.
And it was only single block coverage coming from the Flying Titans. A lot of space for Mean Mendres to get that kill for the high-speed hitters.
And we're all tied at 20. Another deadlock.
Serving for PLDT.
Outside set to Isa Molde. Mendres couldn't keep that ball in play. And Choco Mucho again with the lead.
Flying Titans can just exchange points with PLDT at this point. They're just 4 points away from bagging the opening set. Again, no pressure is really on the side of the Flying Titans. They can just shake things up
Yep.
in the semifinal to their liking.
Yep.
Now the double substitution of Coach Dante, still the same, Caitlin Veray and Jem Ferrer.
Yeah, but you know, knowing these athletes, knowing you athletes, the competitive spirit kicks in once you're on the court. Kahit ano pa yan, kahit a no-bearing game, you want to win. And that's what we're seeing from Choco Mucho. Kate Veray, welcome to the game. Just like that. Scoring right away.
The 1-2 punch of the Flying Titans from the bench. Caitlin Veray, always effective every time she is subbed in.
D-Mac going to Prado, and that blocking of Kate Veray also with Maddie Madayag. And Mitch Moreta tried but couldn't do it, and look at that, 2-point lead for Choco Mucho.
Great defensive pattern there. It was already a broken play, that's why hindi na bumalik sa gitna itong si Maddie Madayag. That's why she was able to get that kill block. That's a 3-point lead for the Flying Titans.
Timeout.
Huwag nang bibilisan ng tungkab ba? Pag-aalan natin para makapasok si Nico. Yung coverage, same pa rin ha. Iwan yung isa dito, tatlo sa malapit. Okay lang para. Cover pa rin ng cover. Tara, last push, last push. Totoo lang yan, totoo lang yan.
PLDT.
A very calm Coach Rod telling his girls to change the pace up a little bit.
Again, they just need to slow things down on the first pass so that the middle blockers can actually get a good approach.
3 points up for the Flying Titans here in set number 1.
And again, for the high-speed hitters, they already have a secured slot in the semifinals. So even if they lose this one, pasok na sila. But again, they do want to win this game because syempre, hindi rin naman maganda na pumasok ka sa semifinals coming from a loss.
Yeah. And syempre, the higher up you are in the standings, the better it is for you also in terms of the motivational factor for these girls. And another rally here, Molde. She delivers there too. You're seeing a nice combination attack there. Choco Mucho is now at set point. And the fans here enjoying the action.
And look at the communication between Isa Molde and Jem Ferrer. I mean, Isa Molde covered that first pass. Nasa may gitna na siya, so she just asked for a simple play 3. And they got the point.
And a quick conversion. Ito yung sinasabi din ni Coach Ral. Just slow things down para ma-activate yung middle. And it was Mika Reyes who got the ball back and got in the way of that first set point for Choco Mucho. It is still set point though. And Viola Ceballos comes in at the serve. This is pressure serve for her.
Timeout. Flying
And
Titans.
why not ace the server? Or rather, ice the server. Timeout, Choco Mucho.
Okay? Okay? Huwag magmamadali ha. Pag binigyan ng pagkakataon, habaan ng palo. Okay? Kung pinasa din, pakita nyo, pag nabisi tayo, kung over lang tayo, sasagihin lang natin. Okay, sige, sige, sige. Ha?
Hey, Titan!
Let's see if that will work for Choco Mucho. Aside from getting the girls to just calm down and focus and just try to get this set point. Let's see if Ceballos somehow iced. She's coming in for the first time in this game at the serve. That's a good one. Oh, what a put away! What a beauty there for Kate Veray, coming in late in the set, but just scoring 3 straight for her team and winning it for this first set.
Caitlin Veray just converting all the attempts given to her by Jem Ferrer, and they will take first blood against the high-speed hitters.
That was an exciting first set. It started out with PLDT dominating, but Choco Mucho took over and won this first set. 25-21 the score. We'll talk more about it after the break. Welcome back to the Phil Sports Arena for our first of our doubleheader today. 25-21 is the score in that first set between the Choco Mucho Flying Titans and the PLDT high-speed hitters. That was a roller coaster of a set, Neil, with PLDT dominating in the first part, and then Choco Mucho came back and did all that. Look at these highlights.
Until point number 19, they were really in control. I mean, the passing of Cat Arado, the digging of Mitch Morente, and the blocking of Del Palomata and Mika Reyes were on point. But when Coach Dante Alinsunurin started to move his pieces, especially that double substitution, yun yung hindi nabantayan ng PLDT high-speed hitters. Caitlin Baraik scoring 3 quick points to close out set number 1. And Jem Ferrer just really dishing out the sets for the Flying Titans. That is why they won that set. It was very close. PLDT had more attacks compared to the Flying Titans, but defensively, nagkabaliktad. We were expecting PLDT to get more blocks, but again, Choco Mucho is also a tall team.
Yeah.
6 skill blocks and 1 service ace. And you also have the errors, 2 to 6 for these teams.
And like you said, it makes for a even more exciting matchup here. We've been talking about it from the top of the coverage. This is a game for Choco Mucho to just enjoy and to end the conference with a bang, smiling and happy about a win. That is what they are looking forward to. That is what they want to happen. On the side of PLDT, this means more than just you know, practicing or getting in shape for the finals. It's actually moving up in the standings, and that is what is at stake if they are able to win against the Flying Titans.
Choco Mucho currently has a win-loss card of 2-5. And they want to end the season with a 3-5 record. Para masarap yung dinner nila later.
Pero alam mo yung tama yung sinasabi mo, Neil, pagdating sa semifinals, parang back to square one, back to zero. And iba na yung kondisyon and yung lagay and the circumstances around these teams when they go into the semifinals. Kasi, you know, they have peaked. If they have to, they have already understood their opponents, understood themselves. So it's a totally different ballgame when we get into the semifinals. Of course, for those of you who are just tuning in, we talked about also the rest of the cast. We have Creamline with only 1 loss, and they are #1 so far. So they will go up against the #4 team, which could either be PLDT if they lose today, or F2.
So those are the 2 scenarios. Again, PLDT, if they win, they will go up against the Petrogas Angels. If they lose, they will go up against the Creamline Cool Smashers. Because right now, F2 Logistics is at 16 points. PLDT is at 15. So even if they win this game in 5 sets, they will get 2 points if I'm not mistaken. So lamang pa rin sila doon. That's why they will be placed at the #3 seed coming into the semis.
And that one looks good for Del Palomata. And as we talk about that also, you notice, you read out the win-loss cards of all the top 4. Ang lalapit, di ba? A successful conference so far for all 4 because they've given up 1, 2 games, diba? So you know it's going to be bakbakan talaga pagdating sa semis.
And again, I guess it's going to be very different every season. For example, the Signal HD Spikers, we were very surprised that they're currently #7 in the league because they also competed competitively in the last few seasons. I mean, even in the gold medal round in our reinforced conference.
Ito sinasabi natin dito sa inyong PVL, talagang bilog ang bola, you never know. And that's what makes everything so exciting here. Choco Mucho with an early lead. Bea De Leon has been steady today for the Flying Titans. 6 points already for her. And again, PLDT is coming 2 straight for Del Palomata, who is the tallest player in the field, probably in the league, no?
Del Palomata, serving for PLDT.
Lisa Molde goes up. Double block is foiled there. Mendres this time, and again, that cut shot for Mendres.
She has always avoided that double block of Choco Mucho, mastering that sharp cross-court kill. And Madibea Madayag actually read the set of Rede Makulangan well. She wasn't able to drop the left hand to close out that angle for Mian Mendrez.
Del Palomanta continues to score. At 6'2", she's just about as tall as Kat Tolentino. I think mas matangkad si Dindin, no? We're talking about the tallest in the league, pero she's one of the tallest for sure. We're even at 3 apiece now. Different set 2 we're seeing from the first set where right away PLDT was dominant. Ngayon, nagpapalitan sila ng kanilang mga puntos. And Ray Tixon is ready with her report.
There were a lot of ups and downs for Choco Mucho all throughout the season, but one thing to be happy about is finally having a fully healthy Maddie Madayag. Now, when I talked to Maddie earlier today, she told me that while she finally feels healthy, her confidence and consistency is still something she needs to work on. Something that has been helping her is the trust that Choco Mucho's coaching staff has given her, and this trust shouldn't be a surprise as Madzilla has a total of 42 points prior to this game, putting her in the league's top 40 scores. And right now, her team is up by 1 set as we return back to our second frame. Chicky and Neil.
Thanks so much, Rain. Maddie with 3 points already today. It's Mitch Morente who has really been attracting a lot of attention. I'm sure napapansin niyo ang ganda ng ginagawa ni Mitch Morente today.
Miscue on the side of Rede Makulangan and Mika Reyes on that quick attack. Just like in set number 1, PLDT has that lead, and they do have to maintain that to level things up at 1 set apiece.
Underhanded set for Mendrez, and it's good enough for her. Hindi siya mapili.
Soft cut shot there.
And you'll appreciate that. You look at Mendrez here, just no frills, no thrills, just let's score off the block, sabi ni Mian Mendrez. That one just about got away, but look at Mendrez there with a hustle. Back row attack from Kat Tolentino. That one worked. Straight into zone 6.
Strong back row hit from Kat Tolentino, and that was coming from a free ball. That's one of the combinations that they do. Faster play sa harap, then a reverse set papunta kay Kat Tolentino.
Great execution there by Dina Wong finding Kat Tolentino. And I love it when they go all out from back row. Not afraid of going into the net, diba? Prado. Des Cheng. That was tough. That was hard. Des Cheng was trying to time that one. It's a pretty low set. Des Cheng still looking for her groove today.
Just calculated the force on that attack. That's what we talked about in the pre-game. If Choco Mucho wants to win against the high-speed hitters, the outside spikers need to elevate their attacking.
Mika Reyes there with a serve. Good reception by Isa Molde. Des Cheng who tried to make up for things. Denden was there to save that one. Joey Prado. And BDL is dug by Mika Reyes. That one is called outside by the Lions judge. And that is another point for the Choco Mucho Flying Titans. Exciting exchanges here.
Just shifting points here in the start of set number 2.
And props to Mika Reyes for that last save. You know, she doesn't usually play back row. Oh, wow. Good defense from Isa Molde there. Naputo Si Prado and Kat Arado couldn't get that one up. And that is another point for Choco Mucho.
And again, it came from the back row. Isa Molde getting past the defense of Del Palomata and Kat Arado.
Choco Mucho really fighting hard for their points. Serve. Del Palomata chased by Cheng there. But couldn't keep that one in play. And PLDT will end up leading in this first technical timeout. Just by a point. Back for more after the break. Back here at the field sports, Iloilo had a heyday last Tuesday when PVL went over to their shores. Excited ang mga tao, and sure all of them seeing their idols, Creamline and Akari, played in that game, and I'm sure they're clamoring for more. Makakabalik ba ang PVL dyan? Or yung mga iba sinasabi, sa amin naman, sa amin naman. And they really get a chance to go face-to-face with their idols. We take that for granted because they're here in Manila, but I'm sure Iloilo loved that visit from the PVL.
That was the fans of Lisa Sato enjoying the action there in Iloilo, and that's one of the things that we enjoy here in the PVL. Na from time to time, we visit the different provinces here in the Philippines to showcase Philippine volleyball, and it's always jam-packed when we're in the province.
Yeah. I'm sure they're excited to see, of course, their favorites from Creamline and Akari. And that was, you're right, that was Risa Sato's video that we shared with you today. Meantime, it's 8-all here in the second set. A lot of back and forth. Isa Molde going up, and Arado having a hard time containing Molde's attacks.
That's the second time Isa Molde scored off Kat Arado.
And that's an accomplishment. I mean, we talk about Kat being the #1 in reception and digs. Kung makawala pa yan, ibig sabihin malakas talaga yung palo mo.
It's really hard to control an attack pag isang kamay lang yung gamit. Usually, dalawa talaga so that you can pop it up properly.
Oh, that's a good serve. A good reception there by Mendres. Morente going up, getting past the two-man block again. She knows what to do against Bea De Leon and Kat Tolentino.
Always the advantage of Mitch Morente. Heavy-handed hitter for PLDT. Coming from the left side, it's really Isa Molde now off Mitch Morente's hands. And that was an excellent set also from Dina Wong. Low fast set papunta sa left wing, leaving Del Palomata behind, and they need more of that para hindi makahabol yung middle blockers ng PLDT.
We talked about Isa Molde really just rising to the occasion every time. She has 7 already today. Back set to Morente. Oh!
Isa Molde.
And now she's scoring off the blocks. Her blocks too, a monster block for Isa Molde. Point number 8 for her.
Catching fire here in the second set.
So far, she is the top scorer for her team, followed by Bea Tolentino with 7 already today. Kat Tolentino, rather, Bea De Leon with 6.
That is outside. I mean, that is a check ball. And there will be a challenge on the side of Choco Mucho.
And we can feel a challenge here. Challenge coming. It was hard even for us to see what happened there.
And this has been the trend for Choco Mucho. Parang dumidikit lang sila. Very low-key at the start of the set. And then nag-aantay lang sila ng timing para umabante against PLDT.
And one thing's for sure, you look at these girls and you feel that they are relaxed and they are not uptight, enjoying the game, enjoying the action here, and it shows in their performance. That looks pretty clean to me, Neil.
Yeah. There was no block touch.
And Choco Mucho fans are happy about that. And now we have a 2-point lead for Choco Mucho officially. And Bea De Leon at the service line still. 6 points already. She had a service ace earlier today. Let's see if she can repeat. Oh, that one into the net.
They still have a 2-point lead though. That's where they started to actually pull away in set number 1 when they were able to establish a 2-point lead. Somewhere along the road, you will see Caitlin Veray and Jem Pereira back in the fold for the Flying Titans.
Maganda yung bunot kanina. It's just about the timing kung kailan gagawin ni Coach Dante. Meantime, we have a rally brewing here. That's a great pickup there by Denden Lazaro. Revilla. Mitch Borente. And the block, but protected well by PLDT. Just their defense showing up today, and that one is called outside by the lines judge. And here is where we talk about the classic PLDT defense. It's just their floor coverage.
And for PLDT, pag out of system, tas alanganin na yung set, ang ginagawa nila, they just really put it over. Doesn't matter if it's a soft hit because they're very confident in their blocking and digging. And they would rather get the point of defense compared to giving an error papunta sa Flying Titans.
Oh, there's no error there. That's definitely a ball inside for Tolentino. Just a tip of zone 1. One more time on that. That's a difficult set there by Dina Wong. And Choco Mucho maintains the 2-point advantage midway through the second set. They already took the first set 25-21 if you're just joining us now. Mendres. That one.
Oh, that was a great save.
Was able to get. Let's see what Di Maculangan does. Nahuli din si Mika Reyes doon. And this is what you're saying. They're just going to send it over rather than make an error. A chance here for Choco Mucho. Tolentino! A double block works for Mika Reyes and Mayan Mendres.
Great read from PLDT. That was a free ball given up to the Flying Titans. And sometimes, of course, Dina Wong would really go to Tolentino.
Lamang pa rin ang Choco Mucho, pero isa na lang ang hinahabol ng PLDT. With Mitch Barrente now at the service line. That's right, 7 attacks so far for her. Isa Molde timing it. Good pancake there by Mayan Mendres. Ball over. Wong going to Isa Molde. And that's good enough.
Now the roles are shifting. Set number 1 was Bea De Leon scoring the attacks. Here in set number 2, it's Isa Molde.
Yeah.
So much attention is taken off Tolentino in some of the rallies that we've been seeing.
That's 9 already for this girl, Isa Molde. D-Mac just pulling a fastball, knows exactly when to do it. Yan yung experience talaga showing through for Rhea de Maculangan.
Want to play right in the middle of the defense of the Flying Titans.
And now they're gonna be wary of that. Talagang when you do the 1-2, ngayon iisipin na ng depensa ng kalaban mo na baka gawin nila ulit.
And that's why pag nasa front line yung center ng opponent, yung first position talaga ng mga defenders, nasa may attack line lang because that can be an option for your opponent to go for that 1-2 play if you have a tall setter. And it's easier to backpedal a few steps to go for harder hits.
As we take a look at this rally, Des Cheng. Prado took care of that one. Running attack. A soft one by Mika Reyes. Cheng one more time, and that one is good.
She has been trying to get past the defense of the high-speed hitters. Former teammate, Mika Reyes, getting past her blocking.
And she's so persistent. And you hand it to Dina Wong also for just trusting Des Cheng. Two-point lead still for the Flying Titans with Maddie Madayag at the serve. Good receive there by Morente. Prado! Oh, what attack there. Just perfect contact. Rinig na rinig yun.
And that time she went for power.
Yeah.
Fast.
Meron, sabi niya, Neil.
action.
Din ako nun. Yes, we were talking earlier about how Prado is just so smart and will just go for the most logical way to score a point. But we see that she can also, she has those bombs too.
And she reads the defense of their opponents actually every single time. Kumbaga, hindi siya basta-basta lang papalo. Titignan niya talaga kung saan nakapwedeng defenders sa likod. Kung makahabol ba yung middle blocker.
And don't look now, PLDT already tying things up here in the second set. They gave up that first set after leading PLDT. They were dominant in the first part of that first set, eventually losing it 25-21. And Choco Mucho is in the lead for our second technical timeout. 16-15 is the count, a much closer second set. Back for more after the break. Watch Gilas Pilipinas on August 25 or August 27 and or August 29 and be entitled to watch the other games scheduled on that day at the Araneta Coliseum. Get your Gilas Day Pass now. Limited passes available by now.
Michelle Ostero and Bajid Del Rosario of PLDT. Always there to support the high-speed hitters.
And we want to welcome all of you just joining our coverage now. This is an exciting second set. Much closer. And we are looking at two teams. One of them already in the Final Four, in the top four, going to the semifinals. And that's PLDT. Choco Mucho just enjoying the ride here and hoping for a positive way to end the season. They want a win and they want to end with smiles on their faces and happier fans. And so far, they are looking good. They already took the first set, keeping things close.
17-16.
Des Cheng finally getting her groove going here in set number 2.
Although we've seen that from Des Cheng na medyo matagal uminit, and then she takes over and takes ownership of her position and takes control. So far, Des Cheng with 3 points. Mitch Morentes blocked. Good coverage there though by her teammates. Is that a tip? Their last touch there by
The last touch.
Choco Mucho. And again, Joey Prado, the efficient Prado, scoring for her team.
Sir Rolly Delfino of Choco Mucho also in attendance here in the Phil Sports Arena.
Good reception there by Denden Lazaro. Look at that. Prado, the good dig. He continues here. Kat Tolentino covering her own attack. Isamonte sends the ball over. Dimac looking for Mendres. Wow. Denden Lazaro, 2 straight saves there for her team. Mitch Morente this time. Wong to the rescue. Let's see what Di Maculangan does. Mendres again, too soft. Ball right back in their court. Palomata, covered well by Denden Lazaro. What a rally we are having here, Neil. Mendres tries to close out. Denden says no. Isamolde was dug by Kat Arado this time. Palomata. This is record-breaking. A long rally we're seeing here. Good defense from both sides of the court. And what was that? There's a call there. Abruptly ending that rally.
There's a challenge.
There's a challenge of a net touch by Choco Mucho in the middle of that long exchange. I'm sure you all enjoyed that one. Medyo lahat na andala. Bakit biglang tumigil? And there's a net touch challenge that is being called for by Choco Mucho. Mahaba nun, Neil.
It was a long rally. I mean, quality touches from both ends. You can see the showdown between Lazaro Revilla and Kat Arado just guarding their floors well. But
ganda, no? Just the focus of all the players on either side. Let's take a look at this. Was somebody at the net from the PLDT side? Ooh.
Yes, there was a net touch. So that is a good challenge.
Wow.
From the coaching staff of the Flying Titan.
Somebody's got eagle eyes on the side of Choco Mucho.
And that is the job of the coaching staff. To actually watch for these unforced errors na paminsan hindi mapapansin ng head coach kasi nga very active on the sidelines.
Oh, that was a hard-earned point. Choco Mucho still with the lead here, 18-17. Second set. Mitch Morente. That one is outside, a little bit rattled there, perhaps.
No check ball will be called.
That's an error in the attack there from Mitch Morente. And she was involved in that last net violation. And we have a timeout here by PLDT.
Yes.
Okay? Pag maganda receive, ibibigay sa middle. Tapos, yung
Pagdala natin. Pang-server yun, ah. Pasa kayo ulit sa naligod.
Maya.
Tama. Ipit na. Harap si Mitch.
Go.
Tara, dalawa na ulit, oh.
Dalawa lang yan.
Push.
Hey, let's go. Trabaho, ha? Trabaho. Tsaga tayo. Reality. Together.
19 serving 17. Choco Mucho is steadier and more in control in this second set. And they have been leading so far. But PLDT is just staying close, very close.
Throughout the set, 2 points was already the biggest lead for the Flying Titans. PLDT just can't seem to go over that hump with some unforced errors also on their side. It was a net violation at first, then it was an unforced error on the attack.
But really what we're enjoying here today, Neil, are the exchanges, the rallies, really long rallies here that we have been seeing between these two teams. So maganda yan para sa mga highlight reels, mahahaba yung mga i-feature natin.
Especially yung digging ng isang Kat Arado and Denise Lazaro Revilla. I mean, what a show.
100%. Really, if you want a crash course in how to become a libero, you could go back to these exchanges. And that cross-court kill there coming from Mendres. She's been pulling a lot of those today. Getting PLDT just within a point. Choco Mucho
Every time you get a C set from your setter, kailangan mabilis yung wrist action because these are the times na nahuhuli yung middle blocker ng opponent. And you already saw that in that last rally, also with Jovi Prado in the past plays.
Jessie De Leon coming in for the serve here. And Wong looking for Kat Tolentino. Quick, Reyes, she goes deep. Smart, very smart play there by Mika Reyes. And that's pretty smart. Usually when you have these quick attacks, usually tusok na tusok. But this time, she was able to control it and just send it to where it was absolutely empty on the side of Choco Mucho.
Targeting zone 1. And pag nasa harap mo na yung double block, you really have to hit it long compared to hitting a downward trajectory.
And Matayak does the same thing, just targeting Rhea Makulangan this time and scoring for Choco Mucho. And here is that substitution, very familiar, that we're seeing Coach Dante pull towards the end of the set.
PLDT needs to be ready because there's a high probability that Jem Ferrer will be going to Caitlin Viray.
Oh, we know how she did that last time around when she came in late in third set, scored 3 straight points, including the winning point. It's Morentes back, so she's shaking it off.
She changed her arm swing a bit. Mas pulido yung wrist action compared to the power hit a while ago. Huge gap there between Isa Molde and Maddie Madayag.
And you saw that when you were explaining, no, yung wrist action. Nakita natin dun sa ating slow-mo. That's perfect reception there by Des Cheng. Caitlin Viray, as you called it, Neil.
Definitely play for Choco Mucho. Jem Ferrer reverse setting papunta kay Caitlin Viray. And as a lefty, it's very easy for her to target the offhand of the left wing spiker of the high-speed hitters.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Kapag kaliwete yung opposite mo, talagang bentaha sa'yo. And that's something that really Choco Mucho has. They have prized opposite players in Kat Tolentino and Kate Viray.
Miss hit from Erica Santos. Malamig pa.
Kakapasok lang ni Santos and she gets another chance. Good save there by Isa Molde. Kate Viray is timing it. Prado with a good up. Santos covering her own attack. One more time for her. And we talk about ito talaga yung tiwala naman kay Erica Santos. Sa kanya lahat binigay hanggang tumama.
After that missed hit, she asked for the ball.
Yeah.
Isa pa, naririnig natin yon. And that's the perfect example of try and try again until you succeed. And she definitely succeeded in that last play.
And she got it down the line. And there, Bumigay, you can see she was happy about that one. Erica Santos seeing action for the first time here in this third set. And a service ace. We haven't seen too many today. But Mendres will score from the service area. That's actually her second ace today. And we have a timeout. Choco Mucho.
Okay, yun ang gagawin natin, ha? O, sige, pag hindi nakapatay, adahin dalawa, ha? Sige.
Yes.
O, ha? Importante, magpakita ka. Okay. Kung ang chance mo kasi hindi naman masyadong gumagalaw sa dito. Sige, go.
Let's go. Go. Hey, Titan! Right!
You also feel the confidence that Coach Dante has in Jem Ferrer and Kate Viray, bringing them in at crucial moments of the game. And Choco Mucho has not trailed too much. And now they are down by 1. And that's why you see the timeout and the urgency on the side of Coach Dante.
Mendres also changing the location of her serve. She has been targeting that short ball. That's a better pass from Choco Mucho. But
that was tough. That did not go the way of Choco Mucho there. Medyo nahirapan si Jem Ferrer. Definitely outside the antenna. That's a botched play. And a point for PLDT. Again, very crucial. And we see the substitution with, for the starters, Bong and Tolentino back in the game.
From 2 points up, now they're 2 points down. They need to get a perfect pass so that Dina Wong can run her play properly.
And you know, mapa front row, back row, si Kat Tolentino hinahanap mo talaga, especially when it is most crucial. This time she opts for Des Cheng. Oh, what a dive there by Kat Arado. Prado is dug this time by Denden Revilla. Arado will set up Prado. Good save there by Kat Tolentino. Play continues. From the back row, Isa Molde. Prado again. Oh, what a great read by Maddie Malayag. That's heads-up volleyball for you.
Just enough elevation to reach that ball.
One more time on that last play. Pababa na lang si Maddie. Sinungkit ba niya?
It pays to have long arms.
That worked out. And just really smart volleyball. And Maddie wants to get to tie again and just catch up with that 1-point deficit of Choco Mucho. And Deschek takes care of things.
That is the combination play that we want to see from Choco Mucho, maximizing the free pass given up by the high-speed hitters. Magkasaluran lang din yung tempo ni Bea De Leon and Descheng in that rally.
You see the whole team really coming together. Choco Mucho ayaw sayangin yung lamang nila all throughout the second set. Let's see if PLDT will let them. Another chance here for PLDT. We have Wendy Samana now who is serving, or setting rather. Samana and Santos here coming together, joining forces to get PLDT their first set point.
Well-placed shot. Just hitting it above the blockers of the Flying Titans. PLDT now at set point.
Yes. Let's see if PLDT will get this set. That's a good reception. A quick one, dug by Wendy Samana. Broken play here, but Prado will go up for the hit. Another chance. Des Cheng.
Oh.
Solid by Del Palomata, and that's how she ends the set. 25-23 is the final count. PLDT taking this one. Now we're even at one set apiece.
Del Palomata, perfect side cross, lateral movement there to close that up.
Also helps that you're 6'2", and but it's not all height. It is also the timing of your jump, and Del Palomata timed that perfectly. 25-23, PLDT winning that second set. We'll be back to talk more about that after the break. (25-23), that is how that second set went the way of PLDT. And as you see on your screens, they have split the first two sets. It's getting more interesting. Neil, we knew this is going to be not going to be a non-game, even if technically wala na rin talagang ibig sabihin. Pero these two teams giving us a lot of entertainment this afternoon.
Everyone wants to win, really, and the PLDT needed 36 minutes to close out set number 2. They were trailing for most part of the set, but they rallied back from 2 points down to actually snatch the set from Choco Mucho with that emphatic block coming from Del Palomata. And you can also see that Coach Radrica Ford changing pieces at the last minute, injecting Erica Santos to the game. She scored 2 quick points alongside Wendy and Semana. Now we are leveled. In the attacking department, isa lang yung naging lamang ng PLDT. Both had 3 kill blocks. And siguro the biggest difference na would be the serving because PLDT scored 2 service aces compared to the none of Choco Mucho. And it came at the crucial part of set number 2. Me and Mendres from targeting a long angle, biglang nag-short ball dun sa service to score an ace against Denise Lazaro Revilla.
And we talked about how the liberos were stellar, both sides, both Denden and Kat, really giving us a show, and we expect more of that in this third set. And we also want to commend both teams because the errors, although they are there, they have kept them to a minimum, and we see a pretty clean game from both sides, not too many service errors. We don't want to jinx them, but it's nice to see that at this stage of the conference, we're towards the end, they know how important it is to just get your serves across and just to minimize the errors, and we've seen both teams really put a lot of effort into that.
And doon mo din makikita na quality yung exchanges na nangyayari pag mas mataas yung mga scoring skills na numbers compared to the unforced errors of each team.
And really the rallies, the length of the rallies, yung tinatagal ng mga balikan nila, nakakatuwa din makita because they don't lose focus and hindi sila na-excite. You know, they are able to just play their game and just give us a show. And I'm sure all of you are enjoying the action here from the Phil Sports Arena. Chicky Rowe Puno with Neil Flores, our birthday boy. Happy birthday, Neil. And we have Rain Dixon also as part of our panel here. PLDT scoring first here in this third set. We're going for at least 4 today. A 5-set, but we were talking earlier about that. Nobody will complain if we get a 5-setter. Sabi mo nga, yan ang hilig din ng ano. Sino bang maraming 5-setters? PLDT, you know, has had both a lot of 5-setters to get to this point.
There were also a lot of close matches for Choco Mucho. But now, Bea de Leon finally resurfaces in the attacking department for Choco Mucho. Took a step back in set number 2 because she let Isa Molde shine alongside Des Cheng. But there should be a set wherein all attackers get involved.
Good exchanges again. Really, the defense. Both squads showing up, and Del Palomata had a little rattle there.
2 points for Bea de Leon in this set, back-to-back for that connection between her and Tina Wong.
That worked out for BDL. Now her 8th point. You're right, she was silenced in the second set. Didn't contribute there, but she got 6 in the first set, and she's building up fast, Bea de Leon. Good up there by Kat Arado. Mitch Morento. Morente going up. Ball still good. Molde sending it over. D-Mac looking for Mendres, and that is good enough. Kat Tolentino couldn't keep that one from hitting the floor.
And for the wing spikers of the high-speed hitters, as long as single block coverage yung nanggagaling sa Choco Mucho, it's always a point.
Yeah.
So props to Rede Makulangan also and the middle blocker for dragging the defenders of Choco Mucho.
Already double figures for Mendres. We talked about how medyo nahirapan siya to get her game back up. She had double digits in her last game. We featured that. And there is a net touch, but already 11 for Mian Mendres. Rain Dixon with a report for us. Rain?
Michelle Morente was always known to be an all-around player, and this dated back to her collegiate days in the Ateneo Lady Eagles. Now that she's in PLDT, Momo feels like her role has expanded beyond being a reliable spiker and steady defender. She said she is the spark plug, the one that provides energy, especially in tense situations. Her partner in crime, well, the top libero in digging and receiving, the one and only Kat Arado. The high-speed hitters look to this dynamic duo for energy and encouragement, especially now that they're in this crucial set number 3. Chicky and Neil?
Indeed, this is crucial. They've split the first 2 sets. This is going to dictate the pace and see who will get an advantage. But you're so right about Michelle Morente, who is really the spark plug, not only in her game, but really also the kind of energy she brings in to the PLDT side. And they are already in the lead here early in this third set. One more time on that. Nakawala.
Man, Mendres just relishing all the moments and all the playing time that she's getting right now for the high-speed hitters. That's a good sign dahil ang dami pang pwedeng pamalit. Also, in the bench, Jules Amonte is there. Fiola Ceballos recovered from that injury. But right now, Man Mendres has been the top player for the high-speed hitters.
She's already evening her output from the last game. 13 already for Man Mendres. And I'm sure her fans from her alma mater, the UE community, is really proud of this girl. Meantime, her fans from her Ateneo days, Michelle Morente, also just relishing her performance today. Running attack is foiled by the Choco Mucho defense. Kat Tolentino blocked. Good coverage by Dina Wong. Molde goes up. D-Mac outside to Mendres.
Into the block, Mendres. 6.
Just really Mendres, so efficient, and she is really going for it. 14 already.
That's what 2 or 3 consecutive points coming from the left wing of PLDT. And when she's on, she is really on.
Fearless. She has that killer instinct, si Mayan Mendres. Meantime, Mitch Morente just continues to serve here. Steady serves.
Sometimes middle blockers would actually talk to the left wing na parang bahala kumuha dun sa blocker basta paluin mo na mabilis. And that is what's happening right now.
Kat Arado with the coverage there. Again, Mendres just hitting it off the block. Just pulling another Mendres. And PLDT now with a 4-point lead, all from Mayan Mendres.
Biggest lead so far in the set for the high-speed hitters, and they want to create that separation. I mean, they want to be able to showcase yung system na gusto nilang patakbuhin in the semifinals.
Ito na yung sinasabi natin, practice. Talagang linalatag na nila yung kanilang sistema, their plays, what works, what doesn't. Oh, wow! That was a good one by Mika Reyes. How do you stop that?
Quick swing. It was only a vertical jump there for Mika Reyes.
And PLDT up now by 5 points in this first technical timeout. Back for more after the break. Gear up for even more intense volleyball as the 2023 Premier Volleyball League All-Filipino Conference enters the semifinals this March. Don't miss the action live and in HD on One Sports Plus, available only on Signal Channel 261. Subscribe now and get up to 1,000 pesos in discounts. Visit your nearest Signal dealer or call 8888-5555 today. Lapit na. Ang bilis din. Actually, I don't know if you feel na mabilis itong conference na to. We are at the semifinals already. The regular season almost up. Today's our last day.
A lot of volleyball action happening.
Yeah,
a lot of leagues going on ng sabay-sabay.
Nako, yung mga volleyball fans dyan, I'm sure many of you watching today, you're just having a field day. Kahit anong araw ng linggo, pe volleyball. And of course, we have the replays. You can see that on One Sports Plus, on Varsity Channel for the UAAP fans. And we are just thrilled to be able to bring all this quality volleyball for all of you. Molde. Wow, look at Kat Arado just spoiling that one. One more chance. This time, it's Kat Tolentino going up. Joust one by PLDT. Molde one more time. Kat Arado, still a spoiler there.
Wow.
That's Prado this time with the defense. And that ends with, guess who?
Man, Mendres, I mean, the 3 defenders in the back row for PLDT is just working overtime.
Yeah.
Mitch Morete just waiting for the cross-court attack of Kat Tolentino. Kat Arado waiting for the cross-court attack of Isa Molde. And then you have the sweeper in Jovi Prado. So all bases have been covered by the high-speed hitters.
Grabe ang coverage talaga nila. And the transition, once they get it, once they are able to pass, nandiyan naman si Mayan Mendres who will convert every time. Things looking good for PLDT here in this third set. But we've seen Choco Mucho play catch-up. They did that in set number 1, eventually winning it. Molde there. That's a good combination play. One more chance for Choco Mucho. Tolentino is blocked. And, you know, then Lazaro Revillo, she thought she was able to execute that pancake save there, but the play is stopped here. And mukhang Choco Mucho is going to get it.
Yep, that would be a point for Choco Mucho. Looks like there was a net touch on Mayan Mendres on her way down.
Oh, wow. Mica Reyes does it again. We already saw that earlier. It's just deja vu all over again for Mica Reyes.
A while ago, it was a lot of long slide attacks coming from the Makulangan and Reyes. This time, they changed things up. Short slide attack, faster tempo,
yeah.
And only one blocker there for the Flying Titans.
Now Mendres in the back row here. It's going to be somebody else's job to score, but Molde will get the ball back. Finally, a chance for Choco Mucho again to serve and to maybe string together some points. And it's just unlucky for Isa Molde. Service errors have been rare today.
And these teams have been working really hard on attack and on defense to rally the points towards their side. But now that you're down by 6 points, you can't help PLDT by giving these unforced errors.
They don't need that help right now. You're absolutely right about that, Neil. Lucky for Choco Mucho, nagkasunuran, nagkapalitan lang sila ng service errors. And this is big lead. This is 5 points. You can also say it's just 5 points, and we've seen Choco Mucho already catch up as much in the first set, but PLDT is just really holding strong in this third set. Dimac pushing it out to Jovi Prado again. Just nice and easy for Jovi Prado, smart player.
That's why it's always important to be in that first possession, because that first possession works wonders for these drop balls, for the quick attacks, and covered yung gitna ng part ng court nyo.
Balls back to the PLDT side. 6-point lead. Second best server in the league, Lea de Maculangan. That's Cheng trying that one, but Dimac onto her. Prado now with some force, and that one is called outside. And that was clean. Choco Mucho will get that point.
Bonus points papunta sa side ng Flying Titans. But there's that allowance for error also on the side of PLDT. I mean, it's a 5-point lead. And ang bilis din nila makarecover. So even if they commit a couple of mistakes, they get it right back. Even that, I don't know if it was intentional, but that push from Del Palomata, finding that corner empty on the side of the Flying Titans.
And basketball, sinut lang niya. Tamang-tama. Back to 6 points, the advantage of PLDT. Tolentino pushing the ball through. Dimac with a save. Mitch Morente getting it past PDL with a good save. Mendres again. Broken play here. There's Cheng. He's pushing the ball over, and she goes past the line there. And that was tough for Des Cheng. She really just tried to salvage that situation.
That was also a scary approach on Des Cheng. It was a tight pass. Wasn't able to hit that break foot. That's why she crossed that center line. And we don't want any injuries on the side of Choco Mucho to end their campaign.
Nako, tama na ang injury, sabi siguro ng Choco Mucho, because they've been plagued with injuries all season long. Prado now serving. Quick one. Palomata pulls off another one, just using her height.
This time, no look, power tip. Being creative in that last rally, establishing an 8-point lead for the high-speed hitters. Totally different set we're seeing compared to the first two frames for the Flying Titans, where they have been very competitive, especially in the attacking department.
Oh, wow. And look at PDL coming alive again. I think that's what we need to see more of from Bea de Leon.
And that is the speed that we want to see from these quick attacks. Even Kat Arado was just too late to react on that quick attack of Bea de Leon.
And that's classic BDL, getting the ball back for her squad. Des Cheng now with the serve. This time, BDL checking Del Palomata there.
She's the busiest woman on the floor right now for Choco Mucho, getting points from quick attacks, also getting good kill blocks for Coach Tantel and Sunurin.
But this time, BDL was onto her. And ibang klase din ang convention din yung kay Palomata na parang side swipe, no? Des Cheng with that serve. Ang hirap ng serve ni Des Cheng. But that one got away from Denden last Villa. It's too tough. And again, it's Mendres getting PLDT to point number 16. Up by 7. Technical timeout number 2. We'll be back. Back here at the Phil Sports Arena, Chiki Rowapuno with Neil Flores. Let's take a look at what you had to say in your tweets. Trish Silverio said, good luck to my dear Ube girls. Win or lose, we love you.
And we have a tweet from John Jeffrey Villena. Go PLDT. Make this game a great mental preparation going to the semis. Shout out to my favorite middle blocker, Mika Reyes.
And we got one more from Checkball. This one, Rentes, the biggest revelation this conference. I'm happy that she has found the right team for her. Thanks to Coach Raul for bringing her confidence back. And we're saying the same. Thanks so much to our Twitter fans for your inputs. And BDL coming through. That's 3 straight for BDL. She scored 11 already today.
And on the side of Choco Mucho, parang nagpapasahan sila ng bato. In every single set, you would see one player stand out.
Yep.
And here in set number 3, it has been Bea de Leon most of the time, converting their attacks. And for PLDT, Mendres. Spectacular performance we're seeing from her.
And Tolentino has been silenced somewhat in this 3rd set. And now they come through on their double block. Mati Matayag and Kat Tolentino, just like the old times.
And that is the intimidation factor na pinapag-usapan kanina ni Bea de Leon and Des Cheng. Classic. Mandela.
And the fans enjoying that moment. Pero bumigay din si Mati. Yung smiling face niya. And clearly, Choco Mucho finding some enjoyment. Already enjoying this stage of the game, and it is showing really they're relaxing, and so they are producing.
Yeah, the middle blockers of Choco Mucho stepping up again. The middle blockers only combined for 7 points in that game against Cherry Tigo. I'm sure they have surpassed that output already today against the high-speed hitters. But they're still trailing by 4 points.
Trailing by 4 points. Oh, wow. Solo block. That was a monster block by Isa Molde there. Big one. That's her 11th point. So many of these Flying Titans in double digits already. And we have PLDT calling timeout now.
Kasi sakto yung iniisip. Tulong pa konti. Saka yun nga, hindi pwedeng ganyan cross. Ninipis naman talaga kahit ano siya. Kung butas na hindi tuloy ka talaga. Pero hindi yun yung gigil talaga. Sa gigil. Yung pinapoint, block point na hindi naman ninyo pinag-iisipan. Huwag na. Wait na lang ulit natin.
Isang ikot muna tayo. PLDT!
It's been a 6-1 run for Choco Mucho, and PLDT has been stuck at 16 points. And like we said, although they are already through to the semifinals, they also want to just move up in the standings. Currently, they're in 4th, so PLDT will want this win, or else they face Dreamline. The first day of our semifinals coming up this weekend.
Now momentum is on the side of the Flying Titans with consecutive kill blocks.
Good pick up there again by Kat Arado. Molde goes up. Arado was there. Mendres blocked. D-Mac, a quick one. Good defense by Choco Mucho. Kat Tolentino, block. Play goes on. Kat again. Look at this defense by the high-speed hitters. Mitch Morente, and that one gets away from Dina Wong, and she ends that rally. PLDT finally moving from 16 points, but that was hard-earned.
Yeah. Great blocking from Choco Mucho, but you see yung mga last-minute decisions, Maddie Madiag letting go of that block, and Mitch Morente was faced with a single blocker, and they were able to convert.
Lead back up to 4 for PLDT. Molde will go up after that good reception, and really good on Isa Molde there with that perfect pass and that conversion. She was able to get herself ready, get herself in position, back to offense after that reception.
And looks like she prefers faster sets compared to high sets. That's where we see Isa Molde shine. Parang perfect din talaga yung game style niya sa C setting.
And Dina Wong really has a plethora of choices, no? And even whatever set she puts up, and aral na rin niya kung ano yung mga personada ng mga teammates niya. Meantime, Kat Tolentino waiting to score in this 3rd set. And that's a slide attack. We haven't seen that in a while from Maddie Madiag. So Dina Wong knows really when to bring these out. Yung mga unexpected na mga plays inalabas niya.
That's one of her favorite plays to go to. I mean, coming from that ACL injury, there's that psychological factor na nakakatakot pa rin to go for a slide. But looks like she's very comfortable already with her lateral movement. And that is a service ace.
Yes,
and
it is.
Even kanina nung naka 3 or 4 point deficit pa itong Choco Mucho, they were still very chill. I mean, they were still laughing it off.
Nagtatawanan.
No pressure whatsoever.
And really, that is, I think, the difference here in their performance, because the pressure is off, and they're just having a good time. That was Kat Tolentino's first point in this 3rd set. That service ace. Erica Santos now. We got Wendy Samana also calling the shots on the side of PLDT. Let's see what gives here. Samana backset to Erica Santos again. One more chance for PLDT. Santos again. Buhay pang bola. Nakabantay si Mika Reyes. And Mandy Madayag calling for a net touch violation, but they're not going to get it seems.
Flying Titans not happy with that call by the first referee, but based on our angle, looked like it was a good call. The ball was going to the side of PLDT already, so it was a valid attack from Mika Reyes. No challenge on the side of Coach Dan Ellen Sunure and the rest of the coaching staff. So they acknowledge that call from the first referee.
2-point lead still for PLDT. Back row attack by Catolentino. Too much there for Wendy Samana. And we are tied, or rather 17-18. The score, Choco Mucho trailing by only 1. Hinabol talaga, trinabaho.
And they really worked hard, especially on defense. Started with the blocking of Mandy Madayag, then everybody just followed her lead. And nahawa na din yung other skill set departments for the Flying Titans.
Yeah. And that's what you were saying at the onset of this third set. Kahit malaki na yung lamang ng PLDT, don't count Choco Mucho out because they're in the right mental state today. Parang they are playing at their optimum, at their best.
But recovery is not an issue for PLDT, says Joey Prado. Getting a quick point against the double block of Dina Wong and Mandy Madayag, hitting that zone 1.
And, this goes to show just the caliber of playing of PLDT. When Choco Mucho is playing at their best, naghahabol pa rin sila against PLDT. Happy throw. Des Cheng is blocked there. One more time. Palomata gets her hand on it, but not enough, and Des Cheng will score.
It was a smart move for Des Cheng. Long outstretched arm of Del Palomata was already there. Kaya makikita mo yung trajectory ng bola pataas, hitting the fingertips of Palomata as it went out of bounds. PLDT still has a 1-point lead.
At 6 points already for Des Cheng. Choco Mucho looking to tie things up here late in this third set. Madayag with a serve there. It's a broken play. Radu will go up. Dina Wong looking for Cheng again. Cheng will go up one more time. And those blockers couldn't kill that one for PLDT. Cheng again.
Oh,
what a save
what
by
a
Kat
save.
Arado. Oh, just classic save by Kat Arado. But it's squandered there by the error on the side of PLDT. And we are tied at 19.
Slowly but surely.
Yeah.
Choco Mucho wrapping up the point. But what an effort for Kat Arado just queening here.
Yeah, absolutely. Number 1 in dig, number 1 in receive. But that rally went on, eventually won by Choco Mucho. And we're now tied at 19. It's all tied from here on. 1 set apiece, and we're at 19 all. Ball still good. PLDT will reset. Erica Santos going up. And tusok, nahirapan si Kat Tolentino doon.
What a swing from Erica Santos. And that is it for the double substitution of Coach Rodrick for getting that point for getting subbed out. Sometimes they only need that 1 point pag pinasok yung mga second stringers.
And D-Mac back in the thick of things here at the serve. Oh, that one is outside, so close. Overcooked by Rhea de Magulangan. And Choco Mucho happy about that.
They still have a challenge left. I mean, they still have 2 challenges left, so they can use one of them. And they will be challenging that call, ball in or ball out.
So Rhea de Magulangan felt that her ball was actually at the line. It was close, we gotta give her that. And nakikita mo na ayaw nila magtapon ng puntos. They will fight for their points. Talking about PLDT, who is still up by 1. In terms of That's outside there.
Way outside. That will be an unsuccessful challenge for Coach Rodrick Ford.
So from the vantage point of Rhea, mukhang malapit. Pero kung tignan mo from the reverse angle, makikita mo naman medyo there's some room there, really.
Sometimes there's that illusion na malapit lang kasi siya sa line.
Oh, wow. PVL going one-on-one there against Del Palomata. But the taller Del will win out. PLDT still with a 1-point lead, getting closer and closer to 25. Let's see if Choco Mucho is able to stop them here. Dina Wong setting up Kat Tolentino on the right side. Mendres finding the hole. Good up there by Denden Revilla. And this time, Catarado couldn't do much about that attack from Des Cheng. And Choco Mucho ties things up again.
That just proves that Catarado is still human.
Pero the-dive pa rin si Kat. And that's 7 already for Des Cheng. So she has time still to score double figures here. As we said, it's not going to end with this set. Kat going up, off the block. Mitch Morente, blocked also. Ball still alive. Mendres will go up. Oh. I don't know if that was her intention, but that off-speed shot just to hit the spot there. Nobody home at the front court of Choco Mucho.
De Leon letting go of that block. Apologizing to her teammates. Huge space there behind the blockers of Choco Mucho. And sometimes, pag kumakalas yung middle blocker sa harap, umaatras sila to defend the short balls. So, that should have happened for the Choco Mucho Flying Titans.
Kat Tolentino makes up for things, but that looks like a good one. Just a cut shot there by Kat Tolentino. And we see her varying things now. We're used to seeing her down the line attacks, but you know she also has that very accurate cross court.
It must be tiring to go up against the Catarado dahil kailangan maraming attempts para makapagpalusot ng bola.
I mean, that has been the story today. Maraming attempts on both sides because even Denden Lazaro Revilla has been really showing up as a libero and thus the many long rallies here. We're only on our third set, Neil. Mendres again will go up, and that's off the block. Maddie Madayag a little frustrated with that one. She got her hand on that.
Very polished, sharp cross court for Mendres. Now it's her time to actually score that point against Maddie Madayag.
That time she went all power, no off speed that time. And we have a timeout.
Sibon tayo, takbo umadi. Tayo dito. Okay. Kanina, yung block natin, masyado natin na kinukuha yung line. Kasi si Mendres lagi cross. Ngayon, lagi nyo abangan. Okay? Kunin mo yung 2. Okay? O pag ano, di na 2. Pag ikot pa ikaw. Okay, sukuha natin na 2 sa block. Okay? And adjust lang sa receive muna. Siya muna. Siya pa. Ha? Okay? Maintindihan. Tayo na tayo, ha?
Stop! Hey, Titan! Hey!
A very tactical timeout there for Coach Dante. You see that although this is a non-bearing game, talagang she's trying to, reform this team and get them gelled, and all of this is going to pay off in the second conference.
And Choco Mucho had a lot of instances like this in their previous outings throughout this conference. Ito yung mga kailangan nilang lagpasan as a team. Yung mga tight scores, 23-all, 24-all.
How to finish, no?
And this is what happened to PLDT in their early years. That's why they are a formidable team coming into the semifinals.
But look at this, Choco Mucho, again, giving us all a thrill, making this an exciting finish to the third set. Medyo lumalayo na ang PLDT, pero Choco Mucho. They are definitely still in it. And that one off the block there. Then Lazaro Revilla tried but couldn't get there on time. And we have a first set point for PLDT. It took a while to get to this point. Both teams just really fighting it out.
Loose blocking there from the Flying Titans. That will put PLDT at set point, but there'll be another timeout for Choco Mucho.
Manggagaling, magpakita ka to their bucket or running. Just dito isa. Okay? Ganun lang ulit na gagawin, ha? Ha? Sige, harap na tayo sa resipa. Sige.
On receive tayo.
Go, 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 go.
I'm there also.
Hey, Titan!
Right! Receive.
PLDT with a set point here. And Choco Mucho will try to foil that one. They've done it before. The second set was also a very close one. 25-23 was how that one ended, with PLDT winning it. So this is kind of like where we were. Let's see if Choco Mucho can extend this third set. We are going to go for a fourth set. But whoever wins here will have that distinct advantage. Prado wants to end it. Choco Mucho says no. Dayag with that slide attack. Pick up there by Mitch Morente. And that is a set point by Mika Reyes there. One more time on that last play. Mika Reyes has really delivered when she needed to. And that is a W for PLDT in this third set. We are going for set number 4. Hang tight. We'll be back for more. It took 38 minutes to decide who was going to take that third set, and PLDT eventually scored the W, 25-23, identical to set number 2. But it went a different way. It was tight all the way, and the exchanges were longer. And look at these highlights.
Yeah, I mean, PLDT just proving to have that finishing kick every single time it happened in set number 2. They finished that set with a monster block here of Del Palamata. This time around, they also end that, but with an attack point from Mika Reyes, the middle blockers, proving that they have that experience to close out tight sets. And for Choco Mucho, it was a gallant stand, a gallant effort from them. Ang laki rin nung hinabol na. It was 7 points.
Yeah.
But it was just not enough because the defense of PLDT always kicks in at the last stages of every set. 22 attacks for PLDT compared to the 12, but Choco Mucho did better in blocking and serving. Mababa pa din naman yung mga unforced errors natin. Again, these players have been working so hard. That's why in set number 3, we reached 38 minutes, partner.
Yeah. You know, this is an interesting statistic because it was such a close game. 25-23 the score. 2 puntos lang yung lamang ng PLDT. Pero yung difference in attacks, no? Napakalaki ng discrepancy. Makikita mo talaga, Choco Mucho umaasa sa blocking and of course, a good serving of the opponents. But their attacks, they keep coming, but they're not able to score. And perhaps that is something that Coach Dante is working on with them. And we see that they are using these games, like what we have today, to just try to continuously improve and to gel and really work within a system that Coach Dante is introducing.
Conversion from the first option of attack and conversion on the transition phase. That is something that Choco Mucho has to work on if they want to extend this match to a 5th and deciding set. For PLDT, you do want to end this already in 4 sets so that you can recover and rest up para sa semifinals.
Yeah. That's absolutely right. We have to also think of the fatigue factor, no? But right now, nobody looks like they're tired. We're seeing now PLDT. We just saw how they are coming in here also with smiles. I think a little more relaxed. As far as they're concerned, mission accomplished. They are going into the semis. And so that should really allow them to enjoy this game more.
And again, 1 set away from sending F2 Logistics papunta sa clash nila, a rematch with the Creamline Cool Smashers in the semifinals. I'm sure we will be jam-packed come the semifinals. So we're inviting everybody to come and watch live.
Oh, you want to grab your tickets already. Oh, that's a good play there. Catolentino just pushing the ball in.
It was the right decision for Jovi Prado to put her hands down so that they can let defense run its course. Yun nga lang, there was nobody there in the middle for the high-speed hitters.
And you know, it takes Catolentino and her experience to recognize that right away. And those services of Des Cheng, they can be lethal but also risky. And she gets another service error there about Des Cheng. But looking at the numbers for Choco Mucho, it's a good spread of points here. Molde topping the points race so far with 13. Wow. PVL now with her 12th or 13th also, tying things up. It's been a big day for Bea De Leon.
Bea De Leon just enjoying herself.
Yeah.
Yan yung hinahanap natin na zero tempo. That's the perfect example of a zero tempo quick attack from Choco Mucho.
Great connection there between Bea De Leon and Tina Wong. Prado. And again, this is a classic Jovi Prado, just no frills, scoring the way she knows how. That's 9 points already for Jovi Prado. Ray Dixon waiting in the wings with a report.
Choco Mucho was down quite a bit in the third set, but you wouldn't think that they were chasing after a lead because of how positive the team was. In the second technical timeout, Coach Dante reminded the squad that there was no room for doubt and hesitation. This was received well by the Flying Titans, who responded with that emphatic run that put Choco Mucho close until the final buzzer. It may be a non-bearing game, but you could see that the Flying Titans were fighting hard in the third set and throughout the game. And that's because Maddie told me that they're using every game as a stepping stone for a long-term development. That's all for now, Chicky and Neil.
And that is evident. We really see, as Rain reported, that it's the long goal. It's the long game that they're looking at, not what's going to happen after this game, because you know, the die has already been cast. Alam na natin kung sino ang aabanse, but there's more to it than just this conference.
And the 4 teams remaining, talking about Creamline, Petrogas, F2 Logistics, and PLDT, all of them, I'm sure they're eyeing that gold medal match. I mean, they'll be leaving everything on the floor to reach the final stage of competition here in the All-Filipino Conference.
PLDT, we said it since the top of our coverage, really peaking at the right time here. Most of their players really finding their place and their roles in their teams, particularly Michelle Morente, who has also been performing today. That's a good save there by Jovi Prado. Broken play. Mendres will go up. And again, Nika Reyes. That's how she won that third set. Nika Reyes will just keep coming at you. It's dangerous when she's there at the front.
Lima Colangan just scattering the sets right now, but that anticipation from Mika Reyes of that regalo, very classic.
El Panamata with the serve there. Good receive by Des Cheng. Moldes blocked solid by Mika Reyes again. Reyes just doing damage. Already 4 points in this fourth set.
That's why you need a stronger hits against Mika Reyes, because it's just a wall for PLDT every time she's in the front row. PLDT again establishing an early lead here in set number 4.
And if you're Choco Mucho, that's probably what you want to do. You want to challenge Mayan Mendres. I mean, she is an efficient blocker, but if she has to go at it alone, mahihirapan siya. And there's a good choice there by Dina Wong to set up Madi Madayag there. Reyes again, this time dug by Isa Molde. There's Cheng, that was tough. That was a tough serve coming from the back, an underhand serve there, and it was hard to control.
The power was there for Des Cheng, but it was just way off base. When you're faced with a double block on the side of PLDT, you have to go to your sharper angles to score the point.
Morente looking to score in double digits as well today. She already has 9. Oh, there's Mendres still going solo. Oh, and that's a break there for Choco Mucho. Des Cheng knew that. That was a very rare miscue coming from Mika Reyes.
They've been blocking so well, but the break of that rally just went to the side of the Choco Mucho Flying Titans.
They're still trailing by 2. This is a must-win for Choco Mucho if they want to extend this to a 5th decider. If you're Choco Mucho, you're saying, why not? We fought this hard. Let's try to get a 4th set. And then maybe a win in set 5. But PLDT will also want to just end this quickly. 8-5, PLDT up by 3. Timeout. Set number 4 between Choco Mucho Flying Titans and the PLDT high-speed hitters. Chiqui Roa Puno with Neil Flores, Rain Tixon, our courtside reporter. And PLDT wants to end it already. They have a 3-point advantage here after the first technical timeout. But Choco Mucho, I don't think will roll over just yet because they have been fighting so hard and enjoying at the same time. And that's really what is nice to see. Both teams just having a good time here today.
And it is far from over. And a while ago in set number 3, Choco Mucho was able to mount that comeback but fell short. But it shows that they have that capability of cutting the lead kahit gaano kalahi pa yon. But for PLDT, they do want to pull out a dominant set to close things out.
Oh, wow, look at that. And that's also a surprise from Dina Wong. She doesn't pull that too often, but now you got PLDT thinking, oh, see, Dina Wong might go for a 1-2, so they have to be on guard. And that worked well.
She does that so well, especially as a tall setter.
That's what we have here, 2 tall setters. DMAC also, probably the tallest setter that we have. PLDT back with the serve. 9-6. They're up by 3. And Mika Reyes, I'm sure, so happy to be back playing the semifinals because it didn't happen for her last couple of, or at least the last conference. The last 2 conferences, I believe.
And she has had a lot of championship experience and championship medals at that, from the collegiate year to her commercial, to her past commercial teams as well. And I'm sure she's very excited to be back on that level with the best teams here in the PVL.
Meantime, Choco Mucho here, so fighting 7-9. This is a must-win fourth set for Choco Mucho. Non-bearing game, but just the same, they are fighting today. Look at Del Palomata there. Happy about that one. And Del, we're seeing her all smiles, really enjoying herself.
Pwede ba kailangan? Also saving that pass. It looked like it was already going over to the side of Choco Mucho, pero napaset pa niya doon sa slide attack for Del Palomata.
That's a good serve. Oh, but a good receive by Denden Revilla. Good pickup by Mitch Morente. Isa Molde will try to kill. No way, says Kat Arado. Prado going up. Oh no!
Yep, that was just too high of a set from Dina Wong papunta kay Bea de Leon. You know, when they hit that right height, ang bilis nung transition play from Choco Mucho. But pag nabitin ng konti yung height, it's very different.
And we see Reg Arocha is now on the court here for Choco Mucho in the back row. She is targeted by D-Mac, the girl who just came in. Malamig pa si Reg, sabi ni Rhea. And PLDT now up by 5, and Choco Mucho will call a timeout.
Walang problema, nadidepensa. Basta huwag kayong titigil, variation ng opensa. Okay? Gumawa ng paraan kung paano gagawin at mga teammate ko sabi. Okay? Okay, one good receive lang tayo. Lima yung hinahabol natin, isa-isa lang muna tayo. Okay? Go. Sige.
Hey, Titan! Right!
Choco Mucho in a very familiar place here, trailing, but looking to catch up. Seen them do it before. That's how it has been for Choco Mucho, just coming from behind. And past 2 sets, they came close to winning. But PLDT eventually pulling away and closing out. There's a Molde there. Apat na lang ang lamang ng PLDT. Choco Mucho still fighting to play a 5th set. Off the hands of Del Palomata there. That one is outside. Another service error for Bea de Leon.
It is unfortunate for the Choco Mucho Flying Titans to give up these errors on the service deck.
Yeah, she had 2 aces already today. Joey Prado this time steady for PLDT. Oh, what a block. But good coverage there by Choco Mucho. And it's a free ball. PLDT will recycle that one. Mendres is blocked. Arado with that save. Good coverage by Prado. Ball still good. Here we go with our rallies again. Di Makulangan pushes it out to Mendres. And just that attack, that form, that timing. Mendres has got it all figured out. 21 points for her today.
Wow, 21 big points. Man, Mendres just shining. Again, choosing her angles well. Loving that play. Yan yung energy na hinahanap for PLDT. And she's a very soft-spoken player talking about Mendres. So, nakakatawa when you see some of her reactions after scoring great points.
Pero labda mo talaga yung tiwala ng coach sa kanya and also ng teammates niya. And for good measure, and that's a good break here for Choco Mucho. A little confusion on the side of PLDT. But talking about Mayan Mendres and how she will be so instrumental for PLDT coming into the semifinals when the games are much more weighty and you cannot afford to make errors. that is what is at stake when you go into the semifinals. Kailangan mas malinis talaga yung mga games ninyo. And early substitution here for Jem Ferrer and Kate Baray. Mendres going up, making it easy, just soft, but still good enough.
Wanted to change the tempo of her attacks. But as coaches would always say, hindi ka pa naman nabablock, so you can't keep going to these hard hits. Talking about Mendres, I mean, she has polished that sharp cross-court angle in this game. And it has proven to be very deadly for the high-speed hitters.
Yeah, although that one didn't go quite past the net. Choco Mucho scored on that one. And we have another violation.
That is definitely a double contact violation called on Manny Madayag. Makikita mo na kasi agad yung double contact upon the release of that ball. The spin, pag umikot nang umikot yung bola, you can expect a whistle from the first referee.
5-point lead by PLDT. They want to end it in 4. Edja Rocha there with a stop. Free ball for PLDT. Oh, good coverage by Jem Ferrer. Ball still alive. Morente going up. And it's Kate Mirai's turn. Oh, good pickup by Di Maculangan. And the free ball. Here we go. Choco Mucho. And that one was challenged there by Mendres. But Choco Mucho's Kate Baray, she is fearless. She keeps coming.
And that's, I think, 5 or 6 points already for this game para kay Kate Baray. It was a low set from Jem Ferrer. And nakita natin, she was asking Jem Ferrer for a higher set. But nonetheless, she found a way to score for the Flying Titans. That will be a point for Choco Mucho. This time a double contact violation called on Rhea Di Maculangan. Tight pass from the high-speed hitters.
And Rhea knew she probably would have been better off just thinking that ball over. But these errors, are we wondering about Jules Samon? They were talking about her off the air, Neil, and she is going to see action for the first time for PLDT.
She was the starting outside hitter for the high-speed hitters to start this conference, but eventually Mendres showed up.
But it just shows you really the depth of the bench of Coach Rald and PLDT. And look at Jules Samonte there and Mika Reyes. But good defense shown by Choco Mucho. Samonte will go up again. Good coverage by Denden. And Kate Baray sends that one over, untouched.
Choco Mucho will be using one of their challenge opportunities. It will be a block touch challenge on that Caitlin Baray hit.
Challenge number 2, Choco Mucho, block touch.
And while we await the results of that one, we've been talking about Denise Lazaro, Revilla, and Kat Arado and their stellar performances today. 26 digs so far, make that 28 for Kat Arado, 19 for Denise Lazaro Revilla. 10 excellent receptions for Kat and 6 for Denise. And what about the mukhang wala, no?
It was a clean, no block touch there. It was a high ball for Caitlin Baray.
And the ball stays with PLDT and the point. So now they're up by 4 at the second technical timeout. Back for more after the break. back here at the Phil Sports Arena. We are still at it. This has been quite a long match for PLDT and Choco Mucho. They have been fighting for every point practically ang haba ng ating mga rallies, and to the delight of the volleyball fans both here and all of you at home enjoying this matchup as well. Hard to believe that this is really a non-bearing game because both teams is playing their all and giving us a real show.
And this will be the last game of the Flying Titans for this edition of the All-Filipino Conference.
And they really want to leave with go off with a bang. And talk about a bang. That was solid block there.
Caitlin Veray this time getting a point off a kill block. So from offense to defense, she has been doing it all for that double substitution of Coach Dante Linsunurin. PLDT still up by a comfortable 3 points, I would say. And we've been talking about the recovery of the high-speed hitters, even if they let go of certain points. Ang bilis makabalik on track. Just 9 points away from getting this win against Choco Mucho.
Yeah, and moving up to third place at the end of the regular season. That's what they're after, PLDT. Oh, wow. Slide attack from Mika Reyes. We know that she is deadly. We haven't seen that particular play, that particular set from DMAC for Mika anyway.
And I'm sure multiple players are already in double digits for the PLDT high-speed hitters, and we credit Rhea de Macolangan.
Of course, Mendres with her 21 big points. Mika Reyes already has 16. Del Palomata also contributing 11 today.
So that's 3 players in double digits, but Michelle Morente and Jovi Prada has 9 apiece. So 1 point each, 5 na yun in double digits for the high-speed hitters.
And props to this girl, Rhea de Macolangan, for her distribution. 23 excellent sets today already. And that one was into the net.
That doesn't cross the net. It will be a 5-point lead for PLDT.
And things are looking up for the PLDT high-speed hitters. Choco Mucho has to really come together and decide that they want to catch up at this point. Jules Samonte with a serve here. And that's an overpass. Mika Reyes sends it right back. Ferrer looking for Kate Veray. What a block! Mika Reyes. It's been Mika Reyes' show this 4th set.
Offense becoming predictable for the Choco Mucho Flying Titans, and that's it for the double substitution. Of course, Dante Linsunurin, Dina Wong, and Kat Tolentino will return in the starting unit as they try to catch up with the high-speed hitters.
17 big points already from Mika Reyes, most of it in this 4th set. Again, this is a must-win set for Choco Mucho. And that's a lucky break for the Flying Titans. Service error from Jules Samonte, who we're seeing action for the first time in this 4th set. A fixture that we're used to seeing here on the PLDT side. Again, just goes to show you how deep the bench is for Coach Stroud. Ang dami niya mga reserve, mga magagaling na player na pwede niya hugutin at any time. And again, the slide attack this time. Dina Wong with a pickup. Another one. Dina saving it again, but this Lisa Moll, they couldn't get to the ball in time. Good effort there by Dina Wong.
Great pickup from Wong, but no follow-up there for Choco Mucho. Now Del Palomata will march back in.
A quick timeout here by Choco Mucho.
Pasukan natin, pag galing sa backline, tapos sa'yo. Backline, gamit tayo ng backline. Backline sa gitna. Backline sa gitna, ha? Sige, ha?
Let's go! Energy! Angat kayo, Kailan! Right!
Stay with us.
PLDT with a comfortable 6-point lead now. Choco Mucho has to play catch up here if they want to go for a 5th and deciding set to cap their
Team captain,
crusade here in the All-Filipino. This is the last game for the Choco Mucho Flying Titans. They go home from here and just look back at this conference, see what they learned from all of their games and from Coach Dante's system. Prado just getting through Cat Tolentino. Of course, still Choco Mucho has done it before. They have been able to catch up, but this is looking more and more difficult for them.
That is a 10th point already for Joey Prado. So that's 4 players in double digits for the high-speed hitters.
Outside set to Cat Tolentino. Ball still good. Just off the back of Cat Tolentino there. Prado with a ding. Good read there by Rocha. Another rally. Palomata, well read by Bea De Leon. Prado going up one more time. Isa Molde with a dig. Well, that's botched, but still saved by Arocha. Prado. And that got away from Wong and Molde. And that is another point for PLDT. But you gotta hand it to Choco Mucho. They are giving PLDT a little bit of a hard time here. Hindi nila binibigay ng ganun-ganun lang yung mga puntos.
They've been trying and trying to break the defense of PLDT, but it's very difficult for them to have success in that department. I mean, nakita natin na napapagod talaga yung attackers ng Choco Mucho because PLDT has been digging most of their attempts. They've been getting a lot of good rebounds as well. But Regina Rocha gets her first point of the match.
She is on the scoreboard. She had a good couple of saves there today. That's a good serve. Prado will go up, and the ball goes down. And PLDT now at 23 points. Choco Mucho. It's desperation time for them now. 8 points to make up if they want to keep playing.
For the high-speed hitters.
D-Mac with 24 excellent sets today. Outside set, Isa Molde. Let's see if Mitch Morente will get her 10th point. That's a good dig by Dina Wong there. And Arado will put it up. Morente is timing it. Arocha with a dig. Good save by Morente there. Prado dug by Isa Molde. Cat Tolentino blocked. Another rally. And that was a good try there by Denise Revilla to keep the ball in play. Another excellent rally staged by these two teams.
And another defensive stop for the high-speed hitters. Looked like yun yung naging game plan. Doesn't matter na umatake ng umatake ang Choco Mucho. Eventually, mapapagod sila. And that's the time they crank up the intensity talking about the high-speed hitters. Now, this is the dominant set we've been looking sa kanila. But 3 point for Choco Mucho.
16-24. I mean, this is all but over for PLDT. But Choco Mucho, I mean, it's the rallies that they allowed to happen. Just their never say die spirit, allowing the rallies to go on while PLDT eventually winning it. But really kudos to the Flying Titans for giving us such a ride today. Let's see if they can play catch up here. Morente, and it looks like it's going to be off the block. She gets her 10th point and the win for her team. That makes 4 players in double digits today, and PLDT ends the regular season on a high and getting ready for their semifinals berth. They are going to be seeing Petrogas in the semifinals. And it's going to be Creamline going up against F2. But we will be talking more about what just happened here, and a great showing for Choco Mucho, and a pretty good way to really say goodbye to this conference. We'll take a quick break. Back in a moment. Four-set win by the PLDT high-speed hitters, and they end on a high. Ray Tixon is with our player of the game.
With me right now is the player of the game, Mean Mendres. First of all, congratulations. You guys made it to the semifinals early on, but now you have your final placement. Tapos nung start muna tayo sa game natin for today, sa third set, ikaw yung gumawa sa simula, kaya nakalayo si PLDT. Ano yung mga tumatakbo sa isip mo sa mga moments na ganito?
Since last game na namin to, kailangan talaga namin finish strong. Lalo, ito yung pwede maging basehan ng next game namin, which is a semi. So, kailangan kunin talaga namin yung confidence namin this game.
They always say na si Mean is always peaking at the right time, peaking at the right time. Paano mo madadala yung ganitong laro once you move on sa semifinals round?
Yun lang, kailangan talaga magtrabaho pa kami. Kailangan yung sipag talaga, tiyaga. Kahit lamang na yung kalaban, kailangan yung composure namin nandun pa sa loob ng court. Yun po.
Now, your next game is against the Petrogas Angels and nakalaban nyo na sila sa eliminations game. Ano yung preparation nyo ngayon na makakalaban nyo ulit sila sa semifinals?
Same goal, same mindset. Yung focus talaga namin. Every point, yung mga instruction ng coaches namin, and pukpok pa rin talaga sa training kahit isang araw lang yung pahinga namin.
Alright, now do you have any message to your fans, to the ones in the venue, as well as yung mga nanonood sa bahay?
Thank you po sa PLDT fans po, nandito po sa PLDT Management, sa family ko, Mendres, Balsita, Clemente, Tindoy. Hi, Kiking Handayan.
Alright, that was our player of the game, Mean Mendres.
21 big points for Mean Mendres. And you know, Neil, you listen to her and she is so steady. The way she talks, nakitang-kita mo na parang napaka-composed niya talaga. And yun ang dinadala niya talaga sa kanyang kupunan. She is so dependable, steady, not very showy, no frills, but really performs. But 21 points today, really, she has peaked and is so ready for the semifinals.
I mean, I love what she said. Composure was tested in the second and third sets, but they won that 25-23 on both sets. And that's why they won this game. And they level up and improve their win-loss card 6-2.
And up next, we have another game for you. We got Creamline going up against Army. Meantime, this has been Chiki Ropuno with Neil Flores and Ray Tixon. Our director, Al Neri. Thanks so much for joining us. More volleyball to come. Stay right there.